never had to beg him to see your value. You simply removed yourself and let him figure it out on his own. Think of it like a light in a dark room. When the light is always on, you don't think about it. You don't appreciate it. You assume it will always be there. But the moment it switches off, you suddenly realize how much you depended on it. The darkness is unbearable. The absence is undeniable. That is what it feels like when you walk away from someone who didn't appreciate you. The best part? You don't have to do anything except move forward. No messages, no explanations, no long paragraphs about why you left. Just silence. Because silence speaks volumes. Silence forces reflection. Silence creates space for understanding. And in that space, he will either realize your worth or lose the opportunity forever. Either way, you win. This is your reminder. You don't have to fight to be valued. You don't have to argue to be respected. You don't have to beg to be loved the way you deserve. Walk away and let him feel the void. Let him sit in the emptiness he created. Let him understand in his own time what he lost. And when he finally does, it will be too late. A queen does not beg for a throne. She does not wait for someone to hand her a crown. She knows her worth and she chooses what aligns with it. Too many women settle, not because they don't deserve more, but because they're afraid that more doesn't exist. They convince themselves that the bare minimum is enough, that lukewarm love is better than loneliness, that being chosen is more important than choosing. But let me tell you something. Real queens do not settle. They do not shrink themselves to fit into places that do not honor them. They do not lower their standards to make someone else feel comfortable. They choose. They walk with purpose. They know that their presence is a privilege, not a convenience. Think about this. When you walk into a high-end boutique, do you see luxury brands begging customers to buy their products? Do you see Chanel or Dior lowering their prices just to make a sale? No, they stand firm. They know their value. They don't chase customers, they attract the ones who understand their worth. And that's exactly how you should carry yourself in relationships, in friendships, in every aspect of your life. You are not here to convince anyone of your value. You are here to choose what is worthy of you. A queen does not wait for a man to decide if she is good enough for him. She does not sit by the phone hoping he will call, analyzing his mixed signals, accepting half-hearted efforts. She does not waste her time on men who see her as an option when she was born to be a priority. She looks at the situation and she asks herself, is this what I deserve? Is this what I desire? Does this align with the woman I am becoming? And if the answer is no, she walks away without hesitation. There is a difference between being patient and settling. Some women say, I'll wait for him to change, while others say, I choose better. Some women say, maybe one day he will love me the way I love him, while others say, I deserve love that is certain, not love that is uncertain. Queens do not invest in potential, they invest in reality. They do not fall in love with a man's promises, they fall in love with his actions. Look around you, how many women do you know who settled for a life they did not truly want? How many women stayed in relationships that drained them because they were too afraid to be alone? How many accepted a love that was convenient instead of a love that was extraordinary? Do not become one of them. Do not let fear make your choices for you. Do not let society convince you that something is better than nothing. You are not meant for average. You are not meant for almost. You are meant for greatness, and greatness requires courage. A queen understands that choosing herself is the greatest decision she will ever make. She does not settle for a man who makes her feel small. She does not settle for friendships that drain her energy. She does not settle for a job that does not fulfill her. She moves with confidence, knowing that when she chooses herself, she automatically attracts better opportunities, better relationships, better experiences. Have you ever seen a woman who knows her worth? She walks into a room and she commands attention, not because she is loud, not because she demands it, but because her energy is undeniable. She does not need to prove anything. She does not need to beg for respect. It is given to her because she carries herself like a queen. And the secret? She did not wait for the world to crown her. She crowned herself. She decided that she was worthy before anyone else did. This is the mindset you need to adopt. Stop waiting to be chosen. Stop settling for less than you deserve. Stop believing that love is about endurance instead of reciprocity. You are the prize, you are the standard, and the moment you start acting like it, the world will follow. A queen does not fear losing someone who cannot see her worth. She does not cry over doors that close, because she knows that better ones are opening. She does not waste her tears on people who do not appreciate her presence. She holds her head high, adjusts her crown, and walks away from anything that does not honor her, because she knows she is not here to settle, she is here to choose. A queen does not dwell in the past. She does not waste her energy on things that no longer serve her. She does not beg for love, nor does she chase validation. She rises. She glows, she transforms pain into power and setbacks into stepping stones. She moves on, not just with grace, but with undeniable radiance. When life throws heartbreak, betrayal, or disappointment her way, she does not sit in the ashes. She rebuilds herself into something even more magnificent. Think about the most powerful women in history, in business, in entertainment. Have you ever seen them stuck in a chapter that no longer serves them? No. They evolve, they glow up, they step into their power and leave behind what no longer aligns with their greatness. That is exactly what you must do. Because a queen does not shrink herself to fit into someone else's world. She builds her own. Every woman has a moment where she realizes she was holding on to something that was weighing her down. Maybe it was a toxic relationship, a friendship that drained her energy, a job that suffocated her dreams. The moment she lets go, she feels lighter. The moment she stops waiting for an apology, for closure, for someone else to recognize her worth, she becomes unstoppable. And that glow, that's not just beauty, that's freedom. Have you ever walked into a room and seen a woman who exudes confidence? A woman who doesn't need to speak loudly to be heard, who doesn't need to prove herself to be respected? That's not just makeup or designer clothes. That is a glow that comes from within. It is the result of knowing your worth, reclaiming your power, and moving forward with dignity. When you glow up, you don't just change on the outside. Your mindset changes, your energy changes, your standards change. And when that happens, people start to treat you differently. Not because you ask them to, but because they can feel your transformation. Nothing is more attractive than a woman who has mastered the art of moving on. She does not announce her departure. She does not beg for someone to see her value. She simply walks away and lets her success speak for itself. She levels up. She upgrades her mindset, her appearance, her surroundings, her goals. She shifts from survival mode to thriving mode. And the people who once overlooked her, they can't help but notice the glow. People will wonder, how did she do it? They will see the transformation, the confidence, the elegance in the way you carry yourself. But the truth is, you didn't just change, you reclaimed your throne. You stopped waiting for love that wasn't reciprocated. You stopped giving energy to people who didn't appreciate it. You stopped settling for things that did not align with your highest self. That is how queens move. That is how royalty carries itself. There is no power in proving your worth to someone who couldn't see it in the first place. The real power is in becoming so secure in yourself that their absence does not shake you. The real power is in showing up for yourself in a way no one else ever did. The real power is in creating a life so beautiful, so fulfilling, that looking back is no longer an option. You have two choices. Remain stuck in what hurt you, or rise above it. You can let the pain define you, or you can let it refine you. You can let people's actions make you bitter, or you can let them make you better. And when you choose better, when you choose yourself, that is when you start to glow. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You become untouchable, unshakable, unstoppable. A queen does not hold grudges. She holds her head high. She does not seek revenge. She seeks success. She does not break down for anyone who walked away. She breaks through every limitation placed upon her. And the best part, she does not do it for them. She does it for herself. Because she deserves to glow, she deserves to thrive, she deserves to move on like the royalty she is. There comes a moment in every woman's life when she realizes She is no longer willing to be anything less than extraordinary. She refuses to dim her light for anyone. She refuses to shrink, to beg, to prove. Because a queen does not chase, she attracts. A queen does not wait, she decides. A queen does not settle, she reigns. Look at yourself right now. Look at the power that has been inside you all along. You were never meant to beg for love, to plead for attention, to fight for a place where you were never truly valued. You were meant to rise. You were meant to lead. You were meant to become everything they once thought you couldn't be. And let me tell you something. Your glow up is not just about beauty. It's about power. It's about reclaiming your worth so fiercely that the people who once underestimated you have no choice but to sit back and watch in awe. They will wonder how you did it. They will whisper about your transformation. They will regret taking you for granted. But here's the truth. You don't glow up for them. You don't rise for their validation. You don't evolve to prove a point. You do it for yourself. Because the moment you choose yourself, the moment you step into your power without hesitation, you become untouchable, unstoppable. You must understand this. When you finally decide to let go of what is not meant for you, life rewards you. It brings you people who respect your energy, opportunities that align with your worth, and a path that leads you straight to the life you deserve. But it all starts with a choice. The choice to walk away from anything that keeps you small. The choice to stop begging for a love that isn't worthy of you. The choice to build yourself into the woman who no longer seeks attention, but commands respect. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful women don't need to speak loudly to be heard? They don't need to prove their worth, they know it. They don't need to chase love, it follows them. The energy of a woman who knows she is valuable, with or without approval. A woman who knows she is enough, with or without validation. A woman who knows that the moment she upgrades herself, she levels up every single thing in her life. And let me tell you something else. Nothing unsettles the people who doubted you more than your silence. Nothing shakes a man more than realizing you are no longer available. Nothing is more powerful than the moment you decide, I am done explaining, I am done proving, I am done waiting. I am moving forward and nothing will stop me. You were not born to be ordinary. You were not born to stay in places that make you feel unworthy. You were born to rule, to conquer, to stand tall. And the moment you embrace that truth, the world will shift around you. You will start walking differently, speaking differently, choosing differently. And that is when you will realize you never needed them. You only ever needed you. So let them feel the void. Let them wonder where you went. Let them regret every single time they made you feel less than you are. And while they're stuck in the past, you will be busy glowing, growing, and moving forward. Because you are not just any woman. You are a queen. And a queen does not look back. A queen does not wait. A queen does not settle. She rises, she reigns, she rules.